Hello everybody, today we are going to discuss The Cockfight by Amin Kamil. He actually is a very famous and popular writer of Kashmiri. Though he started writing in Urdu, he started his career by writing Urdu poetry, but later he switched to Kashmiri and he wrote stories, short stories, plays and such, and he even got awards for his works in Kashmiri. And this story, The Cockfight, is quite a popular story written by him. And here we have some characters, especially Shahmal, a young lady who is married to Ghulam Khan, perhaps a daily wage earner, because nothing much is given about their job and so, and they have a small baby that too is insignificant in the story. Jani the skinny, her neighbor, and Samad, slaughterer. So these are the characters, and the whole story revolves around Shamal, Jani and the cockfight. So that's why the title is Cockfight. So Shamal is a kind of lady who is ill-tempered and always abusing the others, enjoying taunting others, her neighbors, cowering them down and just making them feel low. So she was that kind of lady. So the story is of actually a lower, about the lower middle class Kashmiri family, that what kind of life they lead and how their behavioral pattern is, how they live with their neighbors. So all such things have been very meticulously presented in this short story. And how it begins actually, that Shahmal is troubling or pestering, I should say, her husband Ghulam Khan for a cock, for a rooster, for about 15 days or so, and he avoided her or just ignored all these things for some days, but then it couldn't go for long, so finally he decided to bring a rooster, and he brought one for 4 rupees and a half. He brought her, though it actually cost only 3 rupees, but just to impress his wife, he quoted that it's of 4 rupees and a half, and he did it with more emphasis on rupees, like it's really that costly one or so, just to make it very much clear. So he put undue emphasis on rupees, but she didn't care about that, perhaps it didn't matter to her, and she was happy seeing that rooster, and she said, yes, this is the kind of rooster I wanted. Actually it was quite a beautiful, handsome one, and the gait, the way it walked, that too was quite impressive. It was all white. She was happy with the rooster, and now she thought that she would show it off to her neighbor Jani, the skinny, and she would flaunt it. So she was like peeping over, looking over the wall. They had only a wall between the two houses that separated the two houses. So she was looking over the wall again and again to see if Jani was there, and then she would show or tell her about the cock that they had bought. So Jani was nowhere to be seen there. She just offered some grains of rice to the cock, and then the 2 hens that she already had. So she had 2 hens, actually she had 3, and one of them actually died due to sickness along with the 5 chicks it had. So since then she, moreover, actually her neighbor Jani had 5 hens and a rooster, and their rooster actually would come over to Shamal's house and would peck grains along with them. So that was okay because she didn't have a rooster, so she allowed. But at times when she would actually lay the grains or things out to be dried in the sun, and this rooster would come and just spoil all that. So she would be quite angry and she would curse that rooster. So at that Jani would say that you yourself would allow him to come over to your place, and now you are cursing him at night. So that kind of quarrels would usually happen between them. And now she wanted her to come out and see her rooster. And then what happened when she just threw some grains over to those hens for the rooster, the two hens also came rushing and they started pecking at the grains, and she just tried to shoo them away, that like, it seems that you have been hungry for days, let him eat the grains. So she was like shooing the hens away and allowing the rooster to peck at those grains. At that moment, what happened? Jani came to her window, and she saw the rooster, and she said, "Oh, congratulations! When did you buy this rooster?" She said, "My husband has bought it just now, and it's of 4.5 rupees," just flaunting and flourishing her silver earrings and just smoothing her say Ferran, that is apron, just out, though there was nothing to do but yes, smoothing her Ferran out and just flaunting, and said, just my husband bought it for 4.5 rupees, just giving more emphasis than what her husband had done, more than that, and then saying that actually our neighbors keep kind of very, say, cheap cockerels, very scavenger ones, but we wanted a different one. It's a special breed, generally not brought in the town. And so saying, and moreover she said that it is 7 months only, it is so she was with an attitude, she was saying all this, showing a kind of attitude, and flaunting that rooster and all that. So it made Jani a bit hurt, the way she was saying all this, and especially like calling the roosters of other as scavengers, just living on worms and insects and such. So she was a bit hurt. It was really bad. It was a caustic comment for her, and she was hurt by that, and she just went away saying that I have put something on the frying pan, so let me see that and look to that. And she just turned away because she was hurt. She didn't want to stay there listening to her taunts and comments, so she went away. Now what Shahmal now was quite happy with the rooster, and she was lost in the imagination of all that. And finally, in the evening when they went to bed, Shahmal was thinking of the rooster and Jani, and how she hurt her with her comments and all. And what happened later on, that in the night, that rooster actually say gave a loud cry in the night, means it was like croaking and crowing in the night. So this made her quite upset, because she was a bit superstitious as well, and a cock crowing in the night, it was a bad omen. So she just aroused her husband Ghulam Khan and said, just go and kill that rooster. Don't you know that it's a bad omen? So such rooster should not be kept at home, that crows in the night. So you should go and kill. So he said, say, why do you bother about all this? It's not the month of Ramadan to confuse people of dawn or morning. So you just don't bother me and you sleep. So saying this, he just slept there and didn't bother about what she was worried and what she said about killing the rooster. So okay, that happened. In the morning she just prepared tea and offered to Ghulam Khan and said that see, you kill the rooster, I don't want that rooster, is a ominous one, it's a bad omen for the rooster to say croak and crow in the night. So he said, don't worry about that. Why you bother about it croaking or crowing in the night? It doesn't matter. It's not the month of Ramadan. Saying this, he was in a hurry to go for his work, and so he went away. But she was quite upset, and she didn't even come out for the whole day, quite afraid, as if Jani would see her and she would ask about that, what a cock you have, what a rooster you have, it crows in the night. So she would definitely would say and taunt her, and so she was afraid, and so in that fear she didn't even come out, didn't even show her face outside. And perhaps even the hens were thinking that what happened to her, that why she is not coming out. She hadn't offered them grains, even rice grains. So finally she thought that it should be better for her to offer some grains to the hens, and otherwise they would die of starving. They would be starved to death. So she offered. Before this, what happened actually, when Ghulam Khan went away for his work, she also went out to Samad. Now she had already told her husband that if he won't kill the cock, then she would do it for herself. She would do it. She would manage it in her own way. He didn't pay heed to that, and he went away. And finally, when he left, he went to Samad the slaughterer, and he saw her through the window, and he said, I know that what you are here for, you just bring it to me and I'll do that, but see, don't enjoy that yourself. See, don't enjoy the feast yourself, you and your husband. I'll be coming over there for dinner. So okay, remember that. So she said, okay, yes, sure, I'll be ready for that. So saying this, she went away, and there was a smile on her face. She was quite happy that she had managed that the rooster to be killed. But when she returned, she saw that Jani, the skinny, was there in her window and was enjoying the fighting. Actually, the cocks, the roosters, were fighting. So what happened actually, that when the hens and the rooster was pecking at the grains there, Jani's rooster just crowed and croaked from their side. So listening to that, this rooster, Shamal's rooster, also responded to that crowing and the loud voice. And then what happened actually, there started a she actually didn't want that. So this was the latter case, that she didn't want that for him to crow or respond, and she thought that Jani would definitely hear that, and she might even have heard him crowing last night, and it would really be very bad, and she would definitely taunt her or so. So she was quite afraid of all that. And when she had thrown grains to the hens, this rooster also came running and started begging. So she, in a fit of anger, she just threw a lump of soil or soil on the rooster to just scare him away. So she, Jani, actually then saw this, and she said that, why are you trying to kill this rooster? Why are you throwing the lump on this rooster? What he has done? So she said that actually he is not allowing the hens to eat the grains. So that's why, just to scare him, I did this. I didn't want to kill him or so. So she said, Jani said that he's a new one actually, and he'll be adjusted in a day or two, and then he himself would help them pecking at the grains and so. But he, at the Shamal said, who is going to keep him for long? Actually, we brought him here for meat, so we'll just kill him and eat him up. We won't be keeping him for long here. So she couldn't understand. Jani couldn't understand that why she's saying so, why she had turned a cold feet to this rooster all at once, because the yesterday she was quite boasting about the rooster, quite happy about that, and now all at once she had turned a cold feet and saying that we actually brought it for meat, and so she was unable to make head and tail out of that, and she turned away. And later this happened that when Shahmal actually came from Samad's house, she saw the cock were fighting. They were like all in an attacking mood, all outraged, the furs all erect on their neck, the wattles all erect, and they were all in an attacking mood, pecking at each other, attacking each other with their beaks. And as this Shahmal's rooster was all white, so the blood stains could be seen on his body. So, and Jani was enjoying all this fight, and she was quite confident that her rooster would definitely win the fight, because her rooster had already trounced, already defeated the rooster of their area or the locality. So she was with happiness, she was watching all this fight. And Shahmal, she was quite, we can say, sweating watching all this. And now Jani had got the chance to taunt Shahmal, and she said, actually, what chance our weakling has in front of your cock, your rooster of 4.5 rupees, just a weakling before your rooster. What he could do? But at the same time she knew that her rooster was going to win because it was a strong one. So she was, and at this, just to make excuse or just to save her side, Shahmal said actually it's not a fighting kind, it's a different breed, it's not a fighting kind. So she was saying so, and she watched the fight for some time with patience, but then she started cursing Jani's rooster, saying that curse be on him, or may her beak, may his beak break into pieces, may palsy strike his beak, or such. She was cursing that way, and she said, why are you cursing my rooster like this? What actually he can do? And moreover, your rooster is quite a different one, and what my rooster can do to yours? And so she was just taunting Shahmal, and Shahmal actually all cowed down by all that, unable to say anything, because Jani had caught her at the right moment. But soon afterwards, what happened? Shahmal's rooster overcame the situation and just overpowered Jani's rooster, and now Jani's rooster was running in the compound in a flight, afraid of Shahmal's rooster, and saving his life. And now all at once Shahmal turned or overcame that emotion of fright and emotion of defeat, and now she said that my rooster may be weak, or my rooster even may crow in the night, but yes, it is the one that can defeat the other roosters, and I wanted this kind. You perhaps took my word seriously. No, I was not serious at all. My rooster, this is the kind of rooster I wanted, a strong one that can defeat the other rooster. So that's how the story ends finally. So here Kamil has brought the behavioral pattern of the lower middle class Kashmiri families, the way they live, the way they behave, the kind of life they have. In a very meticulous manner, he has pointed all the things out in the story through the characters of especially Shahmal and Jani the skinny. So this is how he portrays their characters, this is how he presents the Kashmiri lower middle class life here in this story, and he has done the job very in a very fantastic manner, I should say, and I hope you might have understood the whole story. So I'll come up with more such stories. So till then, keep watching. Thank you very much.